What's up, guys? This is Jason.
And this is Desmond.
And we are the Single Guys Podcast. Still. What happens if we are no longer single? One of us is not single.
Change title.
What if it's only one?
I think we'll still keep it lah.
I guess the Single Guys is as long as we're not married.
Yeah.
We might be attached, but...
Correct. Yeah. There's no guarantees in anything lah.
That's true. Until we become the married guys, then, there won't be a change in name.
We'll start a new series.
Even if we were, say, engaged, it would still be the Single Guys?
Yeah.
The engaged guys? That sounds weird.
It sounds weird lah. No.
Okay. Alright. So let's talk about today's topic. Oh wait, hang on. Before we go into today's topic, you can find us everywhere on social media. We are on Instagram.
Yep, at the.singleguys.
And we are on email.
Yeah, at thesingleguys.podcast@gmail.com.
And you're also able to find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and IGTV. Just find us through our Instagram.
Yeah.
Now that the plugging has all been done. Today's topic. Now, this topic came about while I was, doing some business in the toilet.
TMI, but cool.
Hey, in the toilet is where the best ideas come from, okay?
Oh yeah. Definitely agree.
But anyway, the topic is old school dating versus modern day dating.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do I mean by old school dating and what do I mean by modern day? So, we are one of the few, I think we're one of the last eras of people that know what it's like to actually date without the internet.
That is correct, yeah.
Just to go back, like way back in my teens, right?
Wow.
So I remember to ask for a girl's number, there were a few ways you could do it. Like you could look in, say, the phone directory. Yeah?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yes.
You could look at the phone directory. But the best way you actually can get a girl's phone number is, when we were, at least in my time, I don't know about your time, but we used to pass each other diaries or autographs, like personal autographs, where you actually fill in your name, your address, your favorite movie. It's like a Facebook in the physical form.
We still had that.
Yeah. So that was probably the best source of
it is.
phone number.
It is. Yeah.
And I remember
this. See, right? Even when we talk about phone numbers, right? See, nowadays when we talk about phone numbers, it's like automatic mobile phone.
Yeah.
But back then, when we talk about phone numbers, there's two things. One is your home phone, which is the main one.
Okay.
And then two was, if they were privileged enough, they had a mobile phone of their own.
No, that was not during my time.
It started about when I was in Form 3, Form 4 kind of thing. So
Which is when I was in uni already.
Yeah. So to me, there was two variations of it.
Okay. So you had the
I had both.
You had the benefit. I didn't have that benefit at all. Teenager, high school, Form 1, Form 2, that was literally calling her house. And it was that was the only option. You had to know that she was at home.
Yeah. Hello, uncle. I want to talk to you.
No, why call when the father is there? Call in the afternoon, the father is at work. There was this girl I remember, her name is Cheryl, where I don't mind saying her name because we've lost touch. I used to call her like from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah. And we could talk, and sometimes it was quiet because you don't know what to say.
Correct.
Yeah. It's like, so what are you doing? I'm on the phone with you idiot. But yeah, that's like,
I find that so endearing though. And yes, there's always that awkward silence, right? But I like talking to the ones who, even amidst all this awkward silence, is still okay. It's still not too awkward.
Okay. But it's hard to...
It's hard to carry a conversation for 3-4 hours straight sometimes.
Yeah, and
it depends on how long the phone call is.
And I did it like almost every second day. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, so it was like, oh. But then there were those which they had like, say, tuition in the afternoon.
Yep.
And the only chance I can talk to them is at night. So I do have to call with trembling hands and fingers. And then when the father picks up, I hang up. It was like, hello, beep, 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 beep. Oh shit. Then I remember doing.
And home phone cannot trace numbers, so they don't know who called.
Yes, correct. I remember also doing this once where the father picked up, and then he asked, "Who is this?" I mean, when I asked for the daughter, he asked, "Who is this?" I gave a fake name, and it wasn't a random fake name. It was a name which existed in that circle of friends.
Oh, right. Just not your name.
Just not my name.
I see.
But they got together after that.
Dude, I think you either have a blessing or a curse in this kind of thing, man.
Well, somebody, whoever dates me for like 3 months or more tends to get married after that. So yeah, anyway.
It's a freaking kind of power to have, but...
It's a bad power. But okay, so that's actually somewhat digressing. So old school dating is pretty much what I just said, where you have to ask the girl for her phone number, you have to talk to her first.
Right, pretty much pre-internet days.
Pre-internet days, and then modern days where you don't even need her phone number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even need phone
Who
numbers.
needs a phone number? I just slide into her DMs.
Correct, and it can be anything, right? It
Correct.
can be Instagram, TikTok, Snap, whatever it is.
Correct.
Damn.
Facebook, doesn't matter, right?
Exactly.
Now, I think the audience who are listening and are too young to remember the times without the internet, they probably only have one experience of dating, and that is through the modern day variation.
Modern day variation,
Okay.
yes.
Which one of these do you think makes for a better first date? Which situation or which scenario? Because, like I've already mentioned just now, sometimes you end up talking, like in the olden days where you end up talking but you don't have a topic.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
unlikely to happen in the modern day.
Yeah.
Because you would have at least seen her IG, you would have seen who your friends are in common,
Yeah.
and you would have seen some of her activities that she does.
Correct. Yeah, man. I think old school dating, a lot of it is just pretty much trial and error, taking your shot in the dark, and it's just a lot of just going for it, right? Just going gung ho. But yeah, modern day dating, I mean, like you said, man, it's you can go through her Instagram, you can go through her snaps, what kind of what kind of humor she has, this kind of thing. So
Whether she has a pet,
huh,
whether she likes her dog or not.
I don't know.
Yeah, but okay, which I think one of the things which bothers me a lot when I was thinking about this topic is how the snowflake generation, the current generation, all right? Okay, they're gonna be quite angry if I call them snowflakes, but hey, whatever. The snowflake generation, I think they don't have the experience of ever physically going up to a person and asking for their name and their number.
Oh yeah, no.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because by the time they start talking in person, they would have had a base of conversation through the internet.
Correct.
And to be honest, that's actually one of the most exciting things ever. Like for me
It is. It's scary and exciting at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I think, which is probably why, like, if given a choice, I would still prefer to lean more towards the old school type of dating, because modern day dating, while it is still nice, and there are, with everything, there's always pros and cons.
Oh
right?
yeah, of course.
Right, but I don't know. I just feel that it's easier to get numb with modern day dating. That's what I feel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because how many messages can you send? That kind of thing, right? Or when you get bored and it's like...
I could send to 10 different girls at the same time.
Right, and they wouldn't even know.
That is true.
Right? Whether or not, or whatever it is, right? And, after a while, text just become text. It's just...
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything anymore. Yeah. And, like, it's kind of like Tinder, if people are on Tinder or whatever it is, right? It's like, when you have enough of swipe rights or you've got enough matches, like, a lot of it is just... You
Small
don't
chat.
bother, yeah.
But you see, right, because the number of texts that you can send at any one time, right, is so much, there will be some which you automatically filter out they say, oh, I don't really like this girl, or I don't really want this match.
Correct, but that's when I feel that a lot of the times, because that person may be a genuine person,
Yeah.
or they may be very nice for all that we know, right?
Yeah.
But it's just that because they've had too many failed attempts or too many, you know, like boring conversation, that they just gave up on the whole entire thing. So they just never try after that. But it could be the greatest person on earth, and
And it could be a good match.
yeah.
And actually, that is a great point, because there is no scarcity. Yeah. So because there's so many choices, they're like, I'll just forget this one. When actually that might have been the right person.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So because you made more effort in the past, or at least in the olden way of dating, you made more efforts, even if the girl wasn't a good match, like physically, maybe she doesn't look like your type. You want to still try and pursue it, because hey, it's not like you have so many options, right?
It's like, I don't want to restart the whole process.
Well, yeah, there you go.
I gotta keep going.
I have this story, right? So there's this girl when I was in Form 4.
Right.
Okay. So that would make me 15.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
about right. Yeah.
So I'm not the best looking guy in the world. I'm aware of where I stand. So I don't usually get a lot of girls contacting me. Most of the time, during my teens, they would pass me letters through, handwritten letters, yo. Where you see how much effort they actually put into the letter.
Oh, that is so true.
Yeah. And I very rarely got calls it was calls actually. So there was this one girl that very randomly called me. And I was very surprised. I didn't know how to react, Yeah. So it was like, she was like, hi, is this Jason? And I happened to pick up the phone because I actually thought it was for my sister. And my sister thought it was for her. And she was actually anticipating this guy to call her that she didn't like.
Jason, get on the phone!
No, she didn't like the guy. So she asked me to answer.
Okay, alright.
So I answered the phone. And then she was like, hi, is this Jason? I said, yeah. So who's this? And she said, oh, my name is Alice. I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't know what to say. I was like, then she was like, oh, I got your number from somebody's diary. And then she was like, oh, I got your name from this person's diary. I saw your picture, and then I just thought we can be friends. I was like, okay.
Oh, gosh.
And my sister, who was waiting there, like, is it the guy? It's like, no, it's for me.
Not you!
It's my turn now.
Finally!
Finally, someone called me. So we became friends, and I don't remember how, but I managed to find out what she looked like.
Right.
And then
so you don't know this girl.
No,
like it.
I didn't know what she looked like. I never knew her before,
Right.
and that time when she called me was the first time I spoke to her.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she had balls, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it means she knew you then.
No, she didn't. She just knew of me from somebody's diary.
Interesting.
Because I wrote in one of my friends'
That's
diary.
really taking a shot in the dark, huh?
Yeah, but that was what it was like in the past. You see, it's tough to imagine doing that, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you say, oh, I know what she looks like. I
Correct.
know what she likes. I know what.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah. So we became friends. I found out what she looked like. She was never my type, but I continued because I figured it was scarcity. I was scraping at the bottom of the barrel. But she's a nice girl. She's actually quite she's not your typical pretty girl, like fair skin, whatever. She's a bit dark.
Right.
Very nice body. And I went on a couple of dates with her. In fact, I remember quite a few dates. And if it wasn't for the fact that I actually continued or pursued this girl, even though she started out with me first, she pursued me first, I would have never had my first date the way that it came out. My first movie date as well. My first time riding a bicycle with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Romantic bro.
Romantic, bro. This was in Syria, by the way.
Damn.
So Syria is a very small town.
Yeah.
I remember finishing Catholic class on Friday, right? And I always look forward to this because Friday, I'm in school, we were off school, right?
Yeah.
So Friday, I always look forward to it because I knew after finishing Catholic class, right, I would go and find her. Yeah? So she would wait for me at Plaza Syria, the mall, okay? And I would cycle from the church to the mall, and that's where we have our dates, and she lived nearby there. So her mom used to drop her off, and then she will follow me on my bike. I was about to say my car, but no. What car? 15 years old, man.
What car?
So she would sit on my bike, and then I would cycle her back, and I'm like, all sweaty and shit.
Damn. Yeah, but back then you didn't care, right?
No, yeah, you didn't care.
None of these things mattered that much.
No,
Right.
and yeah, I had so many interesting experiences with her that if it wasn't for the fact that I actually continued to talk to her, I would have never experienced any of these things.
Correct. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
And so yeah, I just mentioned two names, even though this show we don't usually mention names. But yeah, I mean, she's still on my Facebook, but she lives in KL now. She's married with, I don't know, I think 3 kids. Yeah, which I wish I actually continued because we only lost touch when I went to Australia. Yeah.
Right.
So by then there was email
Which is
already.
usually the case lah. I mean, usually you would lose touch with some of your friends, either from sixth, if you go to different sixth form,
Yeah.
or if you go overseas.
Yeah, I wish I didn't know. She's rich, man. Priorities, bro. I didn't know that. Oh, I remember the first time I cycled her back to her house. I cycled her back. I went to the front of her gate, and then I saw one car. I was like, "Is this your dad's car?" It was a Jaguar.
Wow.
Yeah, a Jaguar. The house is like very typical old Kampong China
Yeah.
in Syria. But the car, they were parking right there, a Jaguar. I was like,
Nice.
"Is this your car?" And then I saw the plate number. And then I'm like, "This is your dad. My mom is friends with your mom." And yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, man.
it is so interesting.
Young, sweet, innocent.
Yeah. And I know this is going off topic, but I remember our first movie date, Interview with a Vampire.
Wow. I'm amazed you even remember.
Of course, my first movie date, Interview with a Vampire, and that was Brad Pitt?
I think one of my very first movie date was at the Bokia Theatre.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
I think most people also be like, what?
Yeah.
What theatre?
Nobody would have remembered it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Exactly.
Hey, imagine mine was Marina Theatre. When I remember the tickets were $3 for the deluxe one and $2.40 for the standard. And the difference was the deluxe one had cushion on the seat. 60 cents extra, but for a 15-year-old, that was like worth it.
FYI, for the people listening, we're not that old. It makes it sound like, like we live in the 70s.
Oh, that's true.
But it's not that bad. I think it's just a transition. It's very...
The transitional period between the what we know now as the modern...
Correct. It's a transition between the olden and what we know now as modern.
But yeah, so, I mean, just to go back, if that was in the current day, right? Okay, current day, she would have to slide into my DMs or somehow get my phone number, WhatsApp me, and I don't think I would have appreciated it as much as I do last time.
No, I don't think so. Same.
Because it will feel like, oh, I can get another one, or I can get better,
I don't
Not
know.
saying there was anything bad. It's just
Correct.
that I don't appreciate it as much now as I did before then.
I think the weight behind it is just not there lah. I mean, I will associate it with, especially let's say if you take in comparison with old school dating, right? For you to want to contact someone, you have to go through so much effort. You have to go through, you have to find out their details, contact details, work up the courage, write things like a letter, I think
Tell
it's
me
just-
about your first time where you had to actually talk to a girl that you didn't know. Or were you already in that phase where you could
I think
at least email?
for most of mine, we will at least be friends already.
Oh.
Yeah, I've not had any one of those that, you know, like I do not know of this person and then they just
Literally
contacted me.
come out of the
yeah,
blue.
No. I
And
didn't have
you've never done that yourself?
that. No.
Wow.
I'm the type that I need to know this person, or I need to know that I'm actually attracted to this person.
That's
So the interesting thing is that my first true relationship in school was actually the girl sending a letter. To me.
letter.
Yeah, it was a letter.
Did the letter have like perfume on it?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Was the handwriting nice at
The
least?
handwriting was nice. The handwriting was nice.
You notice, right, when girls write letters, it smells nice, there's like cute stickers, and
it looks nice. The letters looks very nice.
there's always like glitter and shit.
But if we do it, it's like, a bit cakap rayam.
Yeah. Mine is always like one plain piece of paper and my handwriting all over the place, but somehow, yeah. Yep, I remember those.
Oh my gosh, yeah. it's
So
just-
they actually write to you letter first.
Yeah. So there was an exchange of letters.
Okay.
And yeah. Well, one thing obviously went to another and find out that we were both interested in each other and then started something up.
Wow.
And then came the old school dating part. Hanging out after school, going to like, I don't know, like was it no, it's not Brunei Hotel. What's that place next to Radisson Hotel?
Terrace
Hotel.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Terrace Hotel that back then, right? They
Uh-huh.
had a pool table inside there. That's where me and my first girlfriend would always go there just to play pool, just to walk around, walk around town, you know, like just hanging out.
No cycling. And
No.
She's sitting on the
It's
bike.
like bandar bo cycling. Bandar too dangerous to cycle.
Oh, Surya very safe. And the idea of
No, but we take boat. We
Oh.
take boat from school to bandar.
Okay. There was nothing for us to use a boat for. Oh, do you remember? I don't know if you went through this, but there was also there were times where your parents or her parents had to pick you up or pick her up
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
send back home, that kind of thing. Did you go through that?
Oh, pick her up to send back home? Oh, no. Quite rare.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Because most of my friends live in Bandar. I live in Tutong.
Okay.
So my dad would just probably be the only one that can pick me up.
Oh, because like in my case, I remember a couple of occasions where my dad, he would pick me up,
Right.
and then and she'll be with me. So he would send her home as well, and then my dad will start interviewing me on the way back. Who's that? Yeah. And actually, I
Were
also
your parents also the one that you better focus on your studies? Don't.
my mom was, my dad wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. My dad was a bit of a player.
Right.
So he was pretty proud. And there was once I remember where her father actually came to pick me up with her. She said, "Oh, can you?"
Nervous laughter.
Yeah. Because I can't remember why I didn't cycle. I think because we were going to another friend's place,
Right.
and which was a bit further. And my dad was at work. My mom, I can't remember where she was. So she was like, "It's okay, I can get my dad to pick you up." I said, "I'll be in the car lah, of course." I'll be like, "Oh, your dad." And by this time, I knew her. We were going out for a while already,
Right.
and I knew who her dad was. Her father
Were the
owns.
parents aware though? Well, were her parents aware?
I'm not sure if they were aware, because I asked her. I said, "What do you tell your dad?" "Oh, I just need help to pick one of my friends." Friends.
I mean, if you're in school, your boyfriend's also a friend lah.
Yeah.
You'd be crazy to say, "Oh, my boyfriend."
Correct. So I remember the dad picked me up from my house, and then we went off to our friend's place lah. And then
Yeah.
I think one of my other friends' parents sent us back. So it was neither of our parents. But yeah, I remember when the father came, I was like, "Hello, uncle." And And then he looked at me like, what are you doing with my daughter? You know, he had that kind of like face like, what are you doing with my daughter? Yeah. And it didn't help, like, because she's from a rich family, I wasn't.
Oh, for sure, they'd be so protective.
Yeah. And she's the oldest one some more.
Right.
I was like, oh man. But her mom was okay because her mom obviously knew my mom.
Yeah.
And they were friends and they were like, oh, I thought you
Yeah,
were.
but back then you see, like, taking into comparison, right, old school dating, you know, like the things that you could have done are a lot more innocent, right? Whether it's just hanging out, whether it's just, you know, cycling around town, or, you know, just, you know, like light skinship with each other and this kind of thing. Like, but now in the modern dating world, it's just, I feel it's a lot different, right? People send nudes, people send, you know, like dick pics and things like that, and it's just.
Bro, I tell you, skinship on a bicycle is one of a kind. Kids nowadays, if you're listening to this shit, forget your grab car, forget your darts, grab a bike, cycle around together. I'm not kidding. And don't do any of that banda kuchiria nonsense. That's not the same. You literally have to get your own bike.
Man, but that's the second best thing here already, you know.
Because the banda kuchiria one is like there's a separate seat for it, you know.
Oh yeah lah.
So this one is where she sits between your bicycle seat and the handlebar.
Yes.
So she's literally in front of you and you're going around her. That skinship, bro, is like whoa. And some more, like half the time you're cycling, because she'll be sitting on her side.
Correct.
So half the time she will look in the front, half the time she look back at you. You're like, hee. Yeah, man.
Oh, God.
Those are some of the things which I miss about the olden way of dating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, there's another story where, so I mentioned this girl Cheryl, right? The one that I used to talk to on the phone for hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember we used to have big walk, like charity walks?
Yes.
Correct, where we used to collect money and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And then once you collected all the money, you join in the walking thing.
Yep.
Okay. So I remember I asked this girl, this Cheryl, and I said, so who you gonna be walking with? Right? And she's like, oh, I'm walking with Elizabeth, which is her best friend.
Right.
Then she asked if I was gonna walk with my friends. And then I said no because my friends didn't want to do the full one. So you had option how many kilometers you wanted to do.
Right.
I was the only one in my group of friends that were gonna do the whole thing. It was walking from the Padang in KB all the way to Panaga.
How far is that?
I
don't live in Syria, so I don't
yeah. So KB to Panaga by car. Oh, you mean by distance?
Car distance, I think.
Wait, let me think. By distance, it would be about
somewhere between 10?
10 kilometers. Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah. So this was me when I was.
It's still quite a distance though.
Yeah, it is. I was 13 at the time.
Yeah.
13. So this is before the bicycle girl. So I remember then she was like, oh, you gonna walk alone? I was like, I don't know, I'll see whoever I walk with. Walk with lah. Too cool, bro. Too cool.
Too cool, playing cool.
Playing it cool. So she was like, oh, if you want, you can walk with us. I was like,
we in, boys?
we're in! That's it! So she invited me to join her and her best friend. So I was like, okay lah. So I said I'll go with you guys. So her friend on the day, I remember her friend, very, very slick man, that girl, her best friend.
Oh.
She was so we walked as a group. Somewhere along the line, she saw another group of her friends. So the best friend went off. And leaving the two of us.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh man, what am I supposed to do? I really didn't know what to do, you know. So, I mean, we talked, but how much can you talk? You already talk for hours on the days leading up to it, 2 hours per day-ish. And then on the day, I was like, wow, it went very bad lah. And actually, not long after that, we kind of stopped staying in touch.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so that was kind of like the kicker. What's funny is when she eventually left Brunei, she went to study in Singapore. I actually stayed in touch with her at that time, and then we met up lah. Like when I went over for holiday, we still talk. Sometimes we make fun of those younger innocent days. Yeah, so it was very, very interesting. Yeah. You don't have any of this, right?
No lah, I have lah. But it's just, I think it's just
Because
those typical, you just hang out. Whether it's sports, whether it's, just whatever.
Okay, and did you play sports?
Yeah, I was heavy into sports.
Or what sports?
Running. I was I was the 100 meter and 200 meter runner for my house.
So did
long
they
jump,
come and
triple
support
jump.
you?
Yeah, of course. Dude, I was the house captain, man.
Oh shit.
They don't support house captain. I'll be like, what the hell, guys?
Mana tahu they from different house?
Yeah lah, but
So like you have your girlfriends all supporting you, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Wow. As someone who was very shit at sports, I didn't have any of that. In fact, I remember, so Alice came from a different school to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were not in the same school. And
Oh yeah, I've not dated anyone outside of my school.
so I can't date anyone in my school because I came from an all boys school.
If you did, it'll be another separate topic.
Well, thankfully no. We used to have inter-school sports events, right? And obviously she would be there to support her school.
Yeah.
And then I should be supporting my school. But obviously that never happened.
Obviously.
Because whatever, she wanted to support me in whatever sports I joined. And I told her, I said, forget it, don't bother. I'm shit at this. Don't even come and support. Because she was a runner.
Oh,
for her school.
Right.
So I would go and support her.
Right.
And then obviously my classmates and my friends said, hey bro, why are you supporting the other school? She's there, bro. I can't help it. If I don't support her, she will want to support me. I don't want her to support me, so I better support her. and yeah, she won. Yeah, but it was one of those things that was nice to know that she was going to support me.
Correct.
Even though I was shit.
But I just feel that, in all of that, right, it's just that the interactions between, like boy and girl is so much more precious, because it's limited.
Correct, it's precious.
It's
much
very
more precious.
limited, not like
You take those same situations, right? You put that in a modern day scenario.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen? The boyfriend or the girlfriend will be there to IG story it.
Yeah. And like to me,
it doesn't feel the same.
It's not the same.
Like to IG story, if I was put back in that same situation where I'm supporting her, all I would do is I would IG story it, upload it to my Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever, and then that's it.
Correct.
Like it wouldn't have the same meaning.
Correct, I agree.
And the fact that she wanted to come and support me, even though I was crap, right? I was doing the javelin, the throwing javelin.
Right, yeah.
Throwing javelin and I was doing, because I definitely did not make the track and field team, that's for sure. I was shit at running. It was javelin. I remember I had two. I think I might have disqualified from the other one because I don't remember any incident or something like that. But I remember the javelin one.
Yep.
It wouldn't mean as much like if she was just to IG story it and
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, in the current day scenario, people don't appreciate it as much.
Correct.
Because it's just too easy. It's a lot easier now than before. Same thing as if you had to literally go up to a girl and say, hi, can we be friends? That kind of thing, okay. Go back.
Alright, so
You see, let's say the pandemic doesn't exist.
Okay.
We go to a club.
Okay.
I'm in my 30s, you're early 30s, and we have a bunch of 20-year-old friends with us. Okay. Then they, let's say they're all guys, and then we see a group of 5 girls.
Yeah.
Okay. Among the group of us who would have experience of actually going up to a random stranger at a club, or it doesn't matter at a club or not, to go up and have the balls to say, hey,
You want to join us?
No, it doesn't have to be you want to join us, Can we be friends? Just that initial one.
Yeah.
The 20-year-olds wouldn't have that experience.
True.
They wouldn't know how to react if the girl says no. The funny thing is, those same girls would have no idea how to reject a guy. Right? Because all they know is to ignore a guy that's slid into her DMs.
Correct. And this is like, they have to give an answer up front.
Correct. And they can just pretend they didn't see or totally avoid.
Yeah.
Right? But if they were to do it in person, they'd be like, You see?
That is true though.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have a clue how to reject a guy in that sense.
I wonder what people do nowadays when they go club.
Well,
How they talk to girls,
in the current pandemic, I'm not sure anymore.
Like this whole pandemic has...
No one's allowed to go to the club.
But yeah, this only been like a year.
Or I guess you could easily just buy a girl a drink, but that's kind of lame.
No lah, I wouldn't call it lame.
No, you see, if you look in those magazines, well, the magazines don't exist anymore, but online articles, how would you like a guy to approach you, right? A lot of the girls actually say they just want the guy to come up and introduce themselves. Because that's genuine.
Yeah, correct.
And that is the exact same thing that we used to do in the past.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
It's so genuine because there's no way they can hide.
Yeah, I definitely need to be tipsy for that.
We do not encourage drinking on this on this podcast, but if you happen to have some, yeah. Okay. Actually, I feel like this topic is like you could really expand on it a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because
it's not just about like sliding into DMs. It's not just about introducing.
I think at the end of the day, right, it's just so different. Like you're talking about maybe just 10, 15 years apart, but the difference is night and day. It's so extreme, the difference, and wow.
Like you imagine in the past you'd have to say, oh, you like to go spinning. Well, maybe not spinning, but you have a dog. Oh, I have a dog too. And that's just the joy of like actually finding out you both love dogs and have a dog, and it's what's your dog's name? What breed is it? Right.
Correct. Nowadays.
Now it's like, hey, I see you've got a.
Which is where like the game comes into play, right? Because you've already have information. And then it's just a matter of how do you play the game. You want to play cool? Do you want to play cold? Do you want to play mysterious? How long should I wait to reply? This kind of thing. It's just ridiculous on so many levels.
That is true. That can come up for another topic, but I still want to know how long is too long.
How long is too long? Too long for?
Well, if you're waiting for a reply.
Oh God.
Let's say you want to play it cool. Okay, you message this girl, right? How long is too long for you?
For me to reply?
No.
I would reply immediately.
Okay.
But if let's say a girl, granted if she's genuinely busy, even if it's a day, it's also fine lah. But I think for me, probably a day.
Oh.
Impossible. If you're busy if you have a job or whatever it is, or you're busy from morning until night. People check their phone at night before you go to sleep or whatever it is, right?
Or sometimes even if they check, they forget to reply.
Then to me, I also know that I'm not important enough for them to check and reply to them.
That is true.
Right? So because to me, if you're important enough,
you will reply straight away.
Yeah. Which I do.
Okay. I used to have a time limit, but I don't anymore because I find myself doing the same thing.
Criteria. Pew.
I'm now that guy that's like, oh shit, I forgot to reply. Sorry. I will reply. I try to reply as far as I can.
Yeah.
But the only times I don't reply is if I'm driving.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it doesn't help that if I'm driving, I go home, or I go to a friend's place, or I'm meeting up some friends, then I totally forget to reply.
Right.
then I'll be wondering, hey, how come the girl? Oh wait, she did reply. I just didn't reply her.
Right. But this is just getting to know the other person. Like if you know that this particular person has that kind of tendency, then yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, if
Right.
it's it's part of their habit.
Correct.
Like if they were the type to reply only at the end of the day.
Correct. Which is why like a lot of friends know like from my habits, right? If I don't reply, it means I'm asleep.
True. True.
Because if I'm awake, then definitely I will reply. Because I'm that type of person that I cannot leave like emails unread. If you
I
see
know,
my
right?
phone, I have like 6, 7, 8 email accounts connected to my phone, and it's all at 0. It's all red, cleared.
I have that issue too, so that's why I don't put all my emails in. So it's like as if I already replied, but when in actual fact I didn't. I haven't read it. I just don't want to connect it to my phone app.
But alright.
Modern day issues.
Modern
Okay,
day issues.
we'll get into that next time again. Until the next time, this is Jason,
And this is Desmond.
and we are out.